Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? I'm going to be reacting to some of these clips. I saw someone in my chat was asking, where can we find this interview? Well, MSNBC doesn't do a very good job marketing this stuff, or at least releasing it. I don't know where it is. Like, I couldn't find it either, but there are a bunch of clips and things like that. I think it was released at 7 o'clock on TV. But yeah, so I'm just going to be reacting to some of these clips from her interview. Obviously, it's not going to be a very hard interview. It was pre-recorded. But even in this, you've got the woman who's interviewing her admitting that she's got no answers, and she's obviously going to raise taxes, but she can't say it. That's the breakdown. That's what's going on here. She has no answers for how she's going to give out all these social benefits and programs, like the thing that she wants to do with first-time home buyers. Let's see what this is.
The interview, we'll talk about it on the other side.
Expanding that child tax credit, or you mentioned housing before, giving that extra money for a first home. If you can't raise corporate taxes, or if GOP takes control of the Senate, where do you get the money to do that? Do you still go forward with those plans and borrow?
Well, but we're going to have to raise corporate taxes, and we're going to have to raise
middle class.
We're going to have to make sure that the biggest corporations and billionaires pay their fair share. That's just it. It's about paying their fair share. I am not mad at anyone for achieving success.
And so, see, this is it. This is what they always do, these Democrats. Trump put in the policy in 2017, the jobs and the tax policy, which lowered everyone's taxes. That's going to be up in 2025, and the Democrats are not going to renew it. Everyone's taxes are going up. Everyone. But then they say, oh, it's just the rich people. Well, no, it's just like the same thing they say when, oh, Trump only gave tax breaks to rich people. That's not true at all. He gave tax breaks to everyone. And so this is what they have to do.
But everyone should pay their fair share, and it is not right that the teachers and the firefighters that I meet every day across our country are paying a higher tax than the richest people in our country.
And you think that's going to change under Democrat leadership? Why didn't it change under Obama?
Are stressed, that feel that they're at capacity. Communities around the country that have legal immigration, many have said we're at capacity. And many feel like the government has said to them, well, adapt.
I mean, she is actually asking her an immigration question. This is from MSNBC. This is good.
Sit down, be quiet. This is how it is. What would a Harris administration do for those communities who've taken in many, many legal immigrants but are at capacity?
Well, first of all, we do have a broken immigration system, and it needs to be fixed. And if we take a step...
And so she's been coached to say that. They have to admit it now because it's so bad.
Step back. Months ago, some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress came together with others, proposed a border security bill that would have put 1,500 new border agents on the border to help those hardworking border agents who are there right now working around the clock. Would have put more money into stemming the flow of fentanyl, which is killing.
Ask her about amnesty.
Americans around our country and devastating communities. Would have put more resources into our ability to prosecute transnational criminal organizations, which in my career I've prosecuted.
She's the badass.
Donald Trump got word of the bill, realized it was going to fix a problem he wanted to run on.
Right, but honey, it doesn't fix the problem. There's still millions of illegals in the country. Let's see if she asks her about the illegals already in the country and the amnesty that she plans to give them.
And told him to kill the bill, don't put it up for a vote. He killed a bill that would have actually been a solution because he wants to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And that's part of what needs to be addressed. And my pledge is that when elected president, if the American people will have me, I will bring that bill back and I will sign it into law.
It's meaningless.
And
they're already in the country.
A comprehensive plan that includes what we need to do to fortify not only our border, but deal with the fact that we also need to create pathways for people to earn citizenship.
Right, so she keeps looking down. Why didn't her administration fix it? Well, they did the opposite. They caused it the problem. Go look back in 2021 when Biden came into office. There was no issue with illegal immigration. They caused the problem, and then they tried to put a fix to their own problem that they caused, and they blamed Trump for telling Republicans not to pass the bill that also had funding to Ukraine, and it had amnesty. That was part of the bill, to give amnesty to the illegals in the bill. That was going to stop illegal immigration. It's unbelievable. I actually have never seen. What did she say?
But I truly believe that his legacy will be etched in the history books as Washington, as someone who put that ego aside and put his country first.
He also so decent.
It's just it's next level delusion. I mean, I thought this was a joke when he was like, oh wait, she's not talking about George Washington, is she? She's talking about George Washington.
On transit dollars and looking holistically at the connection between that and housing, and looking holistically at the incentives we in the federal government can create for local and state governments to actually engage in planning in a holistic manner that includes prioritizing affordable housing. 3
holisticallys in one sentence. I think she learned a new word today. But yeah, I mean, that interview is a joke. I don't know if there's. I thought I had more clips of it. Oh yeah, here it is.
Talk about that answer.
I do, but here's what's a little tricky. She doesn't answer the question around if the GOP is controlling the Senate, if she can't raise corporate taxes, where is she going to get the money from? To expand the child tax credit and do all the things she wants to do. And she says, we just have to do it. And that's great, and that's a campaign promise. But the issue is, if it means we're just going to borrow again, then what we're doing is we're just never addressing the deficit. And back in the days when
or they'll just print more money, or they'll just raise taxes like they normally do. Spectacular Insight, what's up, man? Even MSNBC flaming her. Yeah, I didn't expect that. Maybe Oakland should have given money for the A's. That's a tough situation, man. Yeah, I mean, but that should have been solved over a decade ago. Once it goes on that long, they've also got a really cheap owner. It's very hard to get something like that done. Sir. Yeah, she did have a lot of makeup and stuff on. I mean, I'll just scroll through this and see. Here's another one.
You just laid out your economic vision for the future.
Yeah.
But still, there are lots of Americans who don't see themselves in your plans. For those who say these policies aren't for me, what do you say to them?
Well, if you are hardworking, if you have the dreams and the ambitions and the aspirations of what I believe you do, you're in my plan. I have to tell you, I really love and am so energized by what I know to be the spirit and character of the American people. We have ambition. We have aspirations. We have dreams. We can see what's possible. We have an incredible work ethic. But not everyone has the access to the
What's up, Caden? What's up, bro?
Opportunities that allow them to achieve those things. But we don't lack for those things. But not everyone, gets handed stuff on a silver platter. And so my vision for the economy, I call it an opportunity economy, is about making sure that all Americans, wherever they start, wherever they are, have the ability to actually achieve those dreams and those ambitions, which include, for middle-class families, just being able to know that their hard work allows them to get ahead, right? I think we can't and we shouldn't aspire to have an economy that just allows people to get by.
It's just a bunch of crap. I mean, she's not saying anything. Virginia trending red is the stake through the heart of the Harris campaign. Well, certainly Virginia, I don't know. I mean, I've been doing videos on Virginia because it's looking decent. We don't want to say for sure Virginia is going to Trump. We'd want to see more polls. I mean, Rasmussen did release a poll. I had said earlier today, I want to see Rasmussen release a poll. They did, and it had her up by 3. So listen, I think she's probably leading Virginia right now by 3 to 5. That's doable. That's doable with really good voter turnout. Thoughts on the UNLV situation? It's unfortunate, man. It is unfortunate. It is what I mean. That kid's not even that good, though. I mean, it's like they are 3-0, but they really. It's not like he's a superstar quarterback. Her speech is designed to resonate with losers. I just think like none of this is going to move the needle going on MSNBC and but again, there's just nothing there. It's like we all know what she and Trump is going to do, and she has to say, "Oh, you know, the big bad evil billionaires. I'm going to raise taxes on them." When we know damn well she's raising taxes on everyone. That's just how it works. But she's going to say, "Oh, it's only if you make over 400K, that's it." Well, what about Trump's tax plan that expires in 2025? Are you going to renew that? Because that brought everyone's taxes down. Christopher, not surprised she's losing big already. Yeah, no, she is. That's why I was surprised with Polymarket. I said, why is it 50-50? It makes no sense. Youngkin is going to rally with Trump, really? Hey, did you guys see the Butler, Pennsylvania rally that I registered for on the 5th of October? Her nomination was on a silver platter. Well, it was almost like they were forced to give it to her. Like, I mean, they didn't want to. I think Obama didn't seem like he wanted to, if what the leaks are correct. The fact that the hard left MSNBC says bad things about Harris tells you there are problems with her. Yeah, but dude, MSNBC is so crazy. I was looking at some of their videos. It is remarkable how left they actually are. I was watching one of their videos and I was looking at the comments, and I'll be honest, it is just YouTube comments, but I would say about 70% of liberals think Trump staged his first assassination attempt. I'd say like 70% of them. I mean, they all think that. I'm not even kidding you, like legit. He's going to win Pennsylvania big. I don't know about big, man. I would say by, 2 points or something. Kamala's interviews are awful. She can't even look and sound like the media created myth. Well, yeah, she hasn't been put through any type of process that would tell us that she's ready, to be the president. There's been no primary process. So this is the regurgitated shit you get during every one of her interviews. Joe endorsed Biden. No, I never believed QAnon. Stop. How badly did she mess up the interview? It doesn't even matter. I mean, it's a typical interview. It's a total train wreck. Well, it's typical Kamala. It doesn't really surprise me. What is this thing?
Paris, our country. Read something from the style section. What's the latest style coming out of Paris? What's Puffy doing these days? Right? Out of our country.
I don't know if you guys have seen what Mark Cuban is doing. Mark Cuban is seriously jealous of Elon. It's really sad. Mark Cuban he wants to be the head of the SEC now, he's saying. Drew Barrymore. Yeah, she's really liberal from what I've seen. Do you think Trump will win all swing states? I mean, I think he's looking pretty good. I mean, the one would be, maybe Michigan, but I think he's looking good to win them all. Can you look at the exodus from blue states to red states and do a model to predict max influence that could have based? Well, I think that's what do you mean the mass? We really don't know the exact exodus from 2021 to 2024. There's been no census. It's hard to say. But I mean, also when you're talking about an exodus, you're talking about liberals moving from like California to Texas and Colorado. that's not necessarily going to affect Rust Belt swing states. It's not like there's been an exit, although they have, Rust Belt has been losing population from what I've seen, but not nearly as much. How does a potential Harris, W, and MAGA revolt affect OSU versus Oregon? Thinking the spread slides Oregon a few points due to Lanning's Pfizer connects. Well, what an interesting donation. I don't know how to respond to that. Has Lanning endorsed Pfizer? Dude, Mark Cuban is crazy jealous of Elon. It's sad. What are your thoughts on Trump University? I thought you were going to ask me about what Mark Robinson said on an online adult website 14 years ago. Dang it. Is it true that if he wins Pennsylvania, he wins the election? No, he would need more states than Pennsylvania. But the reason people say that is because Pennsylvania is the most important one, and he has more paths than she does. So it'd be very hard for him to lose the election by winning Pennsylvania. But he would need more swing states than just Pennsylvania. The cookie poll, yeah, the cookie poll likes Trump. I saw that by like 800 cookies apparently. Do a live for the Rutgers game? Come on. I like Rutgers is a decent team now, man. I'll be honest. Where's the 14th key? That's a good inside joke, man. How does Harris versus Trump affect the absolute disrespect the Mountain West Pac-12 is getting nationally? Well, that conference sucks. Stop. Are you talking about the new conference that's forming? Vivek was a beast on Lex Friedman. Yeah, I saw that was like 2.5 hours long. Usual Chick-fil-A order. I'm an NPC, bro. Come on. Come on. I just get a number one normally. If I was younger, I'd probably get the nuggets or whatever they were. When I was younger, Chick-fil-A really wasn't that big. Are you not going to talk about the UNLV QV? I mean, it's a sad situation. I mean, the kid wanted more money. I guess they didn't give it to him. He's really not that good, honestly. Talk more about Mark Robinson and his impact on the presidential race. Well, I mean, I don't think it's going to have a ton of impact, but it's not the best news for Trump, that's for sure. But I still think Trump's going to win North Carolina, but it's not great news. Jubilee videos. Dude, Jubilee copyrights apparently everyone. It's not just me, but those videos, man, I don't know. I mean, they bring on, it seems like just clueless people. It's, I don't know. I mean, I was trying to watch where it was 20 versus 1, but they didn't even have, they just had some random blonde-haired kid. Jesse, what's the over-under? Well, on a Puffy suicide. I'm not too sure about that. I saw some headline that said Harris is winning on the economy. Well, that's totally false. We've got liberal polls that just came out about the economy that has Trump up by 11 according to CNN. And you look at Quinnipiac, Trump was up by 8 on the economy. So that's false. New data, Democrat lead in mail-in requests has shrunk by over 5% in Florida, 15% in North Carolina, 35% in Pennsylvania. Well, of course, there's a number of reasons why that's happening, but it is good news. Trump cartoon. I thought that was funny, that cartoon. Chick-fil-A starting to use Play-Doh. What the fuck is that? Like what the stuff that you play with when you're a kid? Did she do the interview? Yeah, she did the interview. It's a bunch of shit. Here, I'll play you a clip.
Stressed, that feel that they're at capacity. Communities around the country that have legal immigration, many have said we're at capacity. And many feel like the government has said to them, well, adapt. Sit down, be quiet. This is how it is. What would a Harris administration do for those
She's
communities
asking about
who have
immigration.
taken in many, many legal immigrants but are at capacity?
Well, first of all, we do have a broken immigration system, and it needs to be fixed. And if we take a step back, months ago, some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress.
So again, she blames Trump for the Biden campaign and their mess. Why don't, like, this is the dumbest thing ever. So if your entire thing is blaming Trump for something that you created and you're saying the immigration system is broken, why is the next question not, okay, in 2020, we didn't have this issue with Trump in the White House. There was no immigration problem. So why did you decide to use an executive order to take away all the stuff Trump had in terms of securing the border? Why is that not a question they're asking? It's like they ask the same vague stuff and she just answers the same bullshit about Trump being the one because he wanted political, a political advantage. So he wanted the border to be in bad shape so he could say, look, the border's in bad shape. But this whole problem started because they said that Trump was too tough on immigration. They needed more people to come into the country. So then they opened everything up and they stopped building the wall. But like, we never even get there. Like, we're grown up people here. Can we not actually ask the question? In 2021, your administration with Biden put executive orders to stop all the stuff that Trump had to where immigration was stalled to basically its lowest point ever. Now, some of that also was due to the pandemic, but it was still down even before that if you look at it. So it's like, we can't even have, like let's just be grown-ups. Why do they keep letting her do this? Like, this is a problem that dates back prior to your little bill. You're trying to fix a problem that you started. There's never any of that. Why are there 20,000? Oh, they're saying it's a good thing now. They're saying that the Haitians are a good thing. They help the community. They get jobs and stuff. It's all gaslighting. You really think that's good? 30% of your freaking community are migrants that can't speak English. That's good, really? I mean, you want to talk about gaslighting. People need their daily programming that are Harris supporters. Well, I mean, I don't think they really care if she does interviews, honestly, if they're Harris supporters. Oh, that was a Judge home run from yesterday. See, this is why I'm getting a new computer. Dude, this fucking piece of shit. This is supposed to be a good computer, too. How come no one is talking about the Dems' Agenda 2030? Well, I mean, they won't shut up about, well, actually, they have shut up a little bit about Project 2025.
There's
no little
every
job.
day. Okay,
There's no such thing as a little job.
Okay, fair. Because your opponent almost every day seems to be talking about this. So I just want to ask you yes or no. At any point in your life, have you served 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, working at a McDonald's? Yes or no? That's it.
I have.
Okay, now the other job.
Right, but is there any proof of that? Isn't that the point of this?
It was not a small job. Like, I did the fries. I mean, yes,
Okay,
but I did.
I mean, this McDonald's stuff. Project 2025 research. Should I get to it? What is Trump gonna do to us? Performance tab. Yeah, nah. The problem is the amount of videos I have on here. I record 4 videos a day and I never delete them. She's so unlikable and fake. Right, you are right. It is like, none of this is actually, like with Trump when he visits grocery stores and when he does things like that and pays for the, remember when he gave the woman $100 and they're like, oh my God, Trump needs to go to jail for it. That's illegal. No, it's illegal to bribe college kids by trying to fucking pay their student debt. That's what they were trying to do. That's about 100 times worse. But no, it's okay when they do it. And that's actually stuff they were trying to that use taxpayers' money to pay for kids' debt to get them to vote. Project 2025 is the October surprise. Well, it's certainly not a surprise. We know that it's certainly not a surprise. Do you think we should be worried about the election because of the midterms? Well, I think polling is a lot different when you're talking about midterms versus a general election, especially when Trump is one of the components. And also, the polling wasn't insanely off in 2022. It was a good year in polling. People overreact to that. They're like, oh, they way overestimated Republicans. It's not even close to what happened in 2020 and 2016. The polling error was so drastic for the Democrats in 2020 and 2016. Republicans, yeah, they overestimated them slightly in 2022, but it wasn't that crazy. Dude, I gotta show this one clip that I just remembered. I gotta find it. Hold on. Well, first this clip.
The criminal charges and so forth.
February 6th?
January 6th.
February 6th? Dude, that's disrespectful. You can't be disrespecting that. Come on. That's a shrine. February 6th? Bro, come on. Give us your thoughts on Rice Stadium. It's a shithole, man. It's a total shithole. Oh, Timmy, I was born in a small town. It's almost like an AI fake background. It's weird. I was born in a small town. I was born. Thoughts on guys setting a bomb off at courthouse in California? I haven't seen that yet, personally, so I don't have any thoughts on it. Georgia, Alabama. Trump's going to be there. That's a big game. I'll take, I think I took Bama by 3. Why aren't you showing chat? Just because I don't want to get racist messages, and then there's issues with that. So it really just detracts many of the trolls because you can't really see it, so it doesn't really. There's no incentive to doing it. How did Navy beat Memphis? Navy, I think, is actually good, man. Like, look at these photos, man. This is like 2 guys announcing they're dating or something. Like, this is a date or something. Like, this guy, seriously, like, how fake is this? This guy talks about being in a small town. It's fucking Alex Soros, the son. Which of the polls that sucked ass in 2016 and 2020 have improved their methodologies? Well, to be fair, it does seem like, at least at the national level, we're getting a bit different polling from Quinnipiac and CNN. I mean, you would have never seen a Quinnipiac poll in 2020 that would have, had Trump nearly tied in terms of the popular vote. So, but the problem is their state polls still suck. They still suck. But it does seem like there is some correction because a lot of these pollsters have gotten Trump wrong so much in 2020 and 2016. There does seem to be some correction. It felt a lot more drastic when Trump was facing Biden because Trump was up by a lot, and pretty much all the pollsters in the swing states were saying, Trump would be up by 5 or 6 in Pennsylvania. He'd be up by 3 or 4 in Michigan. So it was a lot more drastic with Biden, but it does seem like some of the bigger polls, you would never see like CNN come out with a tied national poll in September of 2020 or September of 2016. Thoughts on the University of Houston basketball? Well, they've got a very good program. They've been like one of the top 5 teams in college basketball the past 5 years, every single year. How's UCF? I like UCF. They are good, man. But where's that one video with the beta males in the background? Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is her wife, her husband.
Right up to him. Remember?
Wait.
I'm Kamala Harris, and this guy was like,
look at these guys, dude. Look at these guys, dude. There they are. There they are. The dream team. The dream team. Supposedly they are oversampling women. Well, women do vote more than men. It depends how much they are oversampling them. Tim Walz is the Colorado University of I mean, I don't know. I don't think Tim has the swagger to pull that off. Memphis gave up 56. Well, I think Navy does pass at least a little bit. They pass at least, 10 times. Maybe. Yeah, he was like, oh, Kamala is such a badass. She went over to shake Trump's hand. What are we doing at this point? This is pathetic.
Sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions.
Hillary has lost.
And when do they break with him? Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members. But
I said this in one of my videos. If you were to tell me in 2024, Hillary Clinton would have a likability rating of like -25 and Trump would be at -7, because that's what it is now. I mean, she is hated by everyone. And Trump is she has got to be fuming about how this whole thing turned out. She was supposed to win. I mean, she was supposed to win. And, she is just completely... She's like McConnell almost. Well, in terms of approval, nobody's as bad as McConnell. She's still not accepted her 2016 loss. Well, yeah, no, I think she probably... I would like someone to say, you think it was Russia, right? She still thinks it's Russia. I do give Kamala credit for talking to Trump after the latest assassination attempt. Well, they have to do that. It's a horrible look for their party. They're trying to... the people within their party, are actively trying to kill him. So they're going to have to come out and say, we're so sorry this happened. Political violence is never the answer. They have to say that. It's a mask. That's not what they really think. There's a lot of liberals that they would blame Trump if he got killed. They would say it's his own karma. $40 days away. Is it 40 days exactly? I thought it was 41, but maybe it is 40 now. Why Trump haters want to see him in jail, but they don't care if illegals are... Well, because they're all programmed by the media, and they think illegals are good because if they become legal, they'll be more likely to vote liberal than conservative. And we are seeing declining birth rates. That's just what's happening in the West and first world countries. Everything's so easy for people. They don't want any adversity. They don't want to have children. Children cost money. So now we have to import immigrants, and immigrants vote left, and so that's what happens. Who do you have for games getting relocated or postponed? Well, what can you tell me what's coming exactly? Is it a hurricane? Because I'm gonna have to look this up if games are actually gonna get canceled. I feel like you're downplaying the libs' plan to cheat in the election. Well, this is what I can tell you. It's going to be a lot harder to do that. There's two components. Number one, everyone's going to be watching and ready for it. And number two, there's going to be a lot less mail-in ballots. It's just the reality. The mail-in ballots are going to be down. The voter turnout is going to be down as well. But listen, like there's nothing I can say to fully be like, oh, they're definitely, not going to do anything. And, people always try and do stuff. But I can't sit here and analyze the polls and be like, well, the polls don't matter because they're just going to cheat again. That's no way to live, It's like, we'll see what happens with the election. The thing is, it's unacceptable if we do this thing where it takes 3 days to count again and they go ahead like on day 3. That's unacceptable. We need to have at least an idea of the result, and I think we will. I think we'll have an idea of the result on election night. How about a New Mexico poll? A decent New Mexico poll for Trump. +8. Maybe he loses the state by 7.5. Category 3 hurricane. Wow. Hurricane in Florida going up Gulf Coast. Well, yeah, probably a lot of game. It depends the timing of it. Yeah, normally you'll get 2 or 3 weeks like this where there is potential canceled games. Do you think Kamala Harris looks at the polling and genuinely thinks she can win? Well, I'm sure she thinks she can win. She's probably being told she can win. Technically, you're part of a major party like that with the amount of money they're spending on ads and everything. Of course you think you can win. But it's the polling for them is not nearly as good as it was in 2020 or 2016, and they know that. Were you surprised when Trump lost in 2020? Well, I will say on election night, it was looking really good for Trump. Going into the election, dude, it's just such a miserable time. That was the heart of COVID. It was such a different time. But going into the election, I thought, Trump was the incumbent. The polls were not good for Trump. But also that was another thing that Republicans, the polls were bad for Trump in 2016 as well, but they were worse in 2020. They were. Because if you look, I guess depending on the swing state, but they were not good in 2020. And at around 11 o'clock, I thought Trump was going to win. And that's what the betting was saying. Trump was -700. And then just the way it happened, it was almost like they were waiting for Biden to go ahead by like 100 votes and then they were going to call it. Just the way they counted was so fucking annoying. Is Colorado going Trump? I did see a poll out of Colorado, but it had Harris up by, I think, 11 points. The Colorado's not going to be going for Trump. Do you think they threw Kamala and Walz out as a sacrifice so they wouldn't have to waste a good candidate? Well, that's a theory that they could possibly. I don't know, man. There's so many candidates. I feel like they would choose whoever is best. But the problem is at a certain point it becomes a charade because it is like they bullied Biden off. So if you're going to bully Biden off, if you want to at least keep it semi-democratic, you have to go with the VP rather than hand choose your because they would be handpicking the elite. The Democratic elite would be handpicking whoever they wanted. And at that point, it's just absurd. So at least they can try and save face and say, well, it's just the process. We're choosing the VP. Biden wanted to step down. There was a Biden interview he went on The View where he basically confirms that they forced him out. They did force him out. That legitimately did happen. It's not a rumor. You thought DEI stood for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated? Yeah, that's too bad it doesn't. Would love to see RFK Jr. with a Trump. Yeah, there's got to be some scheduled RFK Jr. Trump appearances. There's been a lot of RFK Tulsi appearances together. Why is that Obama won North Carolina in 2008 but not Georgia? Well, it's just the demographics. Georgia was ridiculous. Georgia was Republican. Really, Georgia was Republican all the way up until 2020. It was an SEC state. They did not flip it until 2020. And even when they flipped it in 2020, there was no way any Democrat was going to win Georgia in 2008. North Carolina's always been kind of that steady swing. So it would have been easier for him to win. What percent chance would you say for Virginia for Trump? I would be pretty cautious, and I would say about a 20 to 25% chance for Trump in Virginia. Probably a bit lower in Minnesota, just because of the Youngkin factor. That's why Virginia would be a little bit higher than Minnesota. Even though technically Minnesota, you could argue based on recent more elections, maybe it's slightly more winnable. It's probably not going to happen. The Youngkin factor. Why do you think so much in academia are Democrats? Well, that's a big problem. And I actually recently saw they always show these things, it's hard to quantify, but it's like 98% of the professors are left-leaning. And a lot of it, imagine where a lot of these Ivy League colleges are. They're in California. They're Ivy League schools in New York. I mean, they're in liberal states. So it all festers together. And a lot of these teachers are already liberal, and it compounds on itself. But they've long infested colleges. That was a long-term strategy. I mean, but it's so bad now. There's no reflection. That's the other thing. There's no reflection of our actual electorate within colleges. It's not even close. It's like when you have teachers, teaching your kids, and they're all a certain political leaning. I guess it just depends how political they are when it comes to their lessons and things like that. The problem is with these college campuses, they're such bubbles. It's a hive mind. And a lot of them have the opinion of, to be a good person, you have to be liberal. It's not necessarily, well, they have better policies, you're going to live better. That doesn't even matter. They're like, Republicans are just bad people. If you don't allow immigrants into your country, you're a bad person. That type of culture has really infested college campuses. They say it's about being a good person. And especially works with women because they're easier when it comes to guilt. But now you're seeing men kind of turn, and I've always thought men were going to be more conservative, and even younger men. Can't believe Barron chose a New York. It doesn't matter. I mean, he's going to be insulated anyways. Don't think it's important to go to college. It depends what you want to do. Even if the Real Clear Politics average is 100% correct and Kamala wins by 2.1, well, if she won by 2.1, I'd feel pretty confident about Trump winning the election, yes. With her winning the popular vote by 2.1, I would feel pretty comfortable about Trump winning the election. But that's assuming that it's correct. Normally, Real Clear Politics underestimates Trump in terms of the final popular vote by at least a point. But even if it is correct, it's Owen Schroyer debating Destiny on October 14th on YouTube. How bad does the October surprise video that Trump releases have to be for Dems to actually switch their... Well, they're not going to... I mean, Democrats are not going to vote for Trump. That's just not going to happen. But if you're talking about, like, independent, I mean, I don't know. Does he have a video of her? I know there's a lot of rumors going around. You got your economics at Miami of Florida University, who's also foreign, says how could anyone vote for someone that tried to rig an election? Rig an election meaning Trump rigging an election in 2020? Is that what you're saying? Or like when they rigged the election with big tech and Mark Zuckerberg admitted it by hiding the October surprise story on Hunter Biden. Is that what you're talking about? You're right. I would not vote for the Democrats either. That's bad. Are the Steelers legit this year? I'm going to say no, man. I mean, it feels like, remember the Steelers were like 10-0 that one year, and then they just kind of, it feels like they're winning a bunch of close games. But there is a ton of parity in the NFL. Was there a shooting at the Harris Camp one of the, I think it was a BB gun. I mean, that's what someone said in the comments. I don't know. But I mean, that story really has not, no, but I don't know what it was, but it's really not getting talked about at all. Oh, here it is. Dude, this guy is just so obsessed with Musk. Mark Cuban is now going around publicly talking about what cabinet positions he wants in a Kamala administration. And all of this, dude, is because of Elon Musk. I genuinely think that this guy is so jealous of Elon Musk. He cannot be conservative. He cannot have any conservative points. He cannot like Trump, because then he would just be like, he'd obviously be below Elon. He wants to be Elon's rival. And so all of this is a charade. It's all an act. And why do you think he said he wants to buy Fox News? He said he wants to buy X. Would the VP debate have an effect on the election? Dude, I highly doubt it. I mean, obviously we want to watch it and we're going to say, oh, it's huge and stuff. And it's, unless there's something crazy that happens, like Waltz has a rage quit or something. Cincy or Cleveland, I'm a Browns fan. People on Reddit were calling it an assassinate. Well, that's totally false. I mean, she wasn't even there. The Talk to a podcast. Well, dude, that podcast, they did a good job marketing it, right? But that's got to be a one-hit wonder. I mean, how long does that podcast have? It's probably got like I've actually talked to the girl. I'm going to be appearing next week with Matt Rife and Shane Gillis. What if Elon buys the Mavs? No, Cuban would never do that. Cuban would be, he would be publicly shamed. Mark Cuban doesn't even have, you're right. And isn't it funny that he mentions that too? Like, why would you even suggest you would buy Fox News or X? And then he admits he doesn't have the money. He's just such a wannabe Musk. Imagine if Musk replaces him on Shark Tank. Dude, what if Musk is just like, why do you want to be me? It's so funny. The dude is literally so obsessed with Musk, he's trying to do everything the opposite. It's sad. VP debate is basically Oregon versus Liberty in a bowl game. That's good. I like that. Steelers defense is I don't know, man, about them. They feel like kind of if they make the playoffs every game, they're going to lose a game just because all their games are going to be ridiculously close. I've left the left because they are rational and playoff emotion instead of facts, and they are so damn sensitive. Well, yeah, I mean, they'll just say that about the right, though. I mean, this is what we do. I keep getting Kamala ads saying Trump's tariffs are a national sales tax. Well, Trump has a real good plan, and Trump is going to keep our taxes down because his tax plan expires in 2025. He's going to renew it. Harris is not going to renew it. The taxes are going to go up on everyone. She can't pay for this shit without raising taxes on everyone. And then she's like, oh, now the billionaires are finally going to start paying. No, it's going to be the middle class again. Dollar Tree. Yeah, Dollar Tree, Elon Musk. DJU. Yeah, DJU is, they got a win, didn't they? Didn't they win a game against California? I don't know. They're 1-3 now. I don't know. Mark Cuban. Yeah, I think Mark Cuban's worth like $5 billion. Yeah, Musk, in terms of assets, Musk has like 400 billion or 500 billion probably. Are the Vikings good? They're another team that kind of seems like an early season pretender, honestly. I'm 99% certain Waltz's response to stolen valor will be, how dare you. Yeah, well, he'll definitely 100%. Well, that's been their strategy. I don't know if he'll say that exactly. I think what he'll say is, you know what? I am proud. I served 24 years, and then he'll leave it at that. Like, he won't even really address it head on. He'll just talk about himself serving for 24 years. That's been the strategy on how they handle that. When are we able to see early vote result? You know what, dude? There was I don't think I liked it, but there was actually a place where you could go and see the early vote. It was a website, but I don't think I liked it, so I don't have it saved. God damn it. And it was actually showing. It was something like vote something, or I don't remember the website. But this is actually a really interesting graph that I talked about today. I mean, look, there's a few things I'll say when it comes to this, and I'll analyze this. I don't think I'm blocking it. I don't think my face is blocking this, right? Historical party ID trends and election results. Party ID margins have consistently aligned with popular vote outcomes, and this analysis offers a compelling case for why tracking partisan leanings is a powerful predictor. This is specifically with Gallup, though. And so what I do want to tell people is this is not their final poll of 2024. So right now they do have the partisan leaning in 2024 Republican +3. So that's what they have in 2023. In 2016 they had it Democrat +3, and Hillary won the popular vote by 2.1. So they were 0.9 off. In 2012 they had Democrat +4, and Obama won the popular vote by 3.9. They were 0.1 off. In 2020, it was Democrat +5. Biden won the popular vote by 4.5. They were 0.5 off. 2008, it was +8 Dem advantage in terms of how partisan leaning the electorate is. And Obama won by 7.2. They were so they've been within a point every single time, and they have the electorate sitting Republican +3. This is not their final poll, but this is a pretty crazy thing to look at. Dude, should I watch that again? That was hilarious, man. The cartoon thing, yeah. Yeah, I did. I watched Kamala's new interview, or parts of it. MSNBC doesn't do a really good job of marketing it. They don't even have the full interview up anywhere, but I did watch most of it. Like the important parts. Why couldn't Braves and Mets just move the games to Citi Field? Technically, be Braves. Well, I'm not familiar with that situation. Maybe Citi Field is being used for something, or they can't. I don't know. Normally, they do that though. If there's a weather issue, like a hurricane or something. Rasmussen poll that showed the race tied in Pennsylvania also found that abortion was a bigger issue than border security in just Pennsylvania, or. Well, it is. You're right. It is still an issue if that is true. That can't. I mean, that is a Rasmussen poll, but that's Pennsylvania, not national, right? But it is still a problem if it is Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania is a very important state. But that doesn't necessarily mean Trump's going to lose it for sure. But that is a problem. That people's priorities, that's a huge issue. When you're talking about abortion, that's a very specific thing. They act like it's this all-encompassing, like all these female rights. No, it's one thing. And like, how is it that important? That's absurd. That's a bot. Come on. Waltz is beating Vance. No, he's not beating Vance. Come on. In a debate? No. Yeah, no. That's exactly what I'm saying, Nick. Let's be honest. Is it really going to shift that absurdly to where this becomes invalid? Like, when Gallup's final poll gets released, maybe it shifts 2 or 3 points, but that's still great for Trump. I mean, that is great for Trump. I don't know where that commercial is, Louie. I'm not sure. Not Monmouth again. Yeah. Focal data. I mean, the mail-in, this YouGov poll is also good for Trump. YouGov got it so wrong in 2020. They've got a generic ballot +2 for Dems. That's good for Trump. What time is the interview? I think it was on at 7 o'clock. It was on MSNBC. We were seeing polls in 2020 where Biden was only trailing Trump in Louisiana, Mississippi, and South Carolina by 5 points. Well, I don't remember Louisiana and Mississippi. I do remember them talking about South Carolina and Missouri, especially in 2016. Vance is arguably the sharpest communicator. Well, obviously he is. That's why he's done the most appearances. So if you look at like the television appearances in terms of interviews and everything, I think Vance is at 50, and the rest of them combined are like 19. I mean, why are people acting like Waltz is Hunter Biden? The dude is a god tier speaker. Well, I mean, when he brings out the communist bow, that's a good finisher. That is a good finisher. Yeah, I know. I've already watched the clips, man.
Because your opponent
there is
almost
no
every
job.
day. Okay,
there's no such thing as a little job.
Okay, fair. Because your opponent almost
McDonald's.
every day seems to be talking about this. So I just want to ask you yes or no. At any point in your life, have you slept
with Willie
all
Brown?
Beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, working at a McDonald's? Yes or no? That's it.
I have.
Okay. Now the other job. But
it was not a small job. Like I did the fries. I mean, yes,
okay, for a
but
small
I did.
Period. The first one was
she's
just
middle
a fact
class.
check.
Remember the middle class thing? There was a tweet by one of her campaign. I mean, it was her account, but it was like, she was like, I was born in a middle class family. It got ratioed to death. I mean, it got ratioed with like 15,000 replies or something. I'm reading Monmouth saying inflation is the top or second most important issue in Pennsylvania. Well, that's good news. If that is true, that's good news for Trump. Did you see someone did an AI edit of Kamala's 60 Minutes interview where they made her say Hawk Tuah spit on that thing? I didn't see that. I don't know. When did she go on 60 Minutes? That had to have been a while ago. You remember when I do remember Waltz saying that. That happened a few days ago. We can't handle 4 more years. a little bit of a misspeak.
Or you mentioned housing before, giving that extra money for a first home. If you can't raise corporate taxes, or if GOP takes control of the Senate, where do you get the money to do that? Do you still go forward with those plans and borrow?
Well, we're going to have to raise corporate taxes, and we're going to have to make sure that the biggest corporations and billionaires pay their fair share. That's just it. It's about paying their fair share.
She does seem a little tipsy.
I'm not mad at anyone for achieving success, but everyone should pay their fair share, and it is not right that the teachers and the firefighters that I meet every day across our country are paying a higher tax than the richest people in our country.
Dude, Waltz got asked about the hostages and then just ate a hot dog in a dude's face and then walked away. And they were like, a childish move. Real mature, Tim. Real mature. I was born in a small town. I mean, I feel like people got to troll me with these Alan Leachman prediction things. No, he's not legit. He's a partisan shill. His keys are based on opinions. He hates Trump. He's a never Trumper. I wonder if Kamala is going to forfeit her salary like Trump did. Bro, she can't do that. She was born into a middle-class family. She's poor. She needs the money. Remember. Yep, she was born to a middle-class family. I was born in a small town. I was born in a small town. Please keep putting her in front of a camera. Well, I mean, she was born to a middle-class family. It's hard work.
They're not leaving our country.
Well, listen, I work with a lot of CEOs.
That's actually a good question.
But how do you find that line to make sure corporations are paying their fair share, but they're not leaving our country?
Well, listen, I work with a lot of CEOs. I have spent a lot of time with CEOs, and I'm going to tell you that the business leaders who are actually part of the engine of America's economy agree that people should pay their fair share. They also agree that
as they go to
when
China,
we look at a plan such as mine that is about investing in the middle class, investing in new industries, investing in bringing down costs, invest in entrepreneurs like small businesses, that the overall economy is stronger and everyone benefits.
But how do you find that line to make sure
Lichman is a grifter? Well, listen, it's obvious he hates Trump, and if that's the case, it's a problem. I mean, he can do his 13 keys thing all he wants. The problem is it's not a formula. It's a lot of those keys are opinionated, so it's a big issue, and it's clear he has a bias against Trump. See, the thing is, Trump has broke so many of these people's brains. He's just another one where they just have a vendetta against him, and then you just become biased. I mean, she's reading off the teleprompter. In this, she's reading off the teleprompter.
In the middle class, investing in new industries, investing in bringing down costs, invest in entrepreneurs like small businesses, that when we look at a plan such as mine that is about investing.
Bro, she's got a teleprompter at a freaking staged interview that's not live. What the fuck? If you hate them so much and want them to pay higher taxes, why do 98% of them... Right, all of their donors are very rich. They get all the richest people who make $500K a year. They're all doctors. They get them. Go look at all the people that work at Apple. They're not making $50,000 a year. I guess they just all love paying more. The reality is that billionaires aren't paying shit with Harris. It's all just going to be the middle class. And then they're going to print more money. I don't know if she has a teleprompter. Someone was saying it. Imagine if she did. There's no way. She was looking down at her notes, though, it looks like. I was born. Polymarket. Yeah, Polymarket does barely favor Harris.
I do, but here's what's a little tricky. Talk about that answer. I do, but here's what's a little tricky. She doesn't answer the question around if the GOP is controlling the Senate, if she can't raise corporate taxes, where is she going to get the money from?
MSNBC.
You know, to expand the child tax credit and do all the things she wants to do. And she says, we just have to do it. And that's great, and that's a campaign promise. But the issue is, if it means we're just going to borrow again, then what we're doing is we're just never addressing.
I mean, she admits it. It's great to see. Yeah, they're making it hard on SpaceX. They're doing some bad things to Elon.
Up until I came along, and that number was going up until I came along.
All right, well, we're going to continue to watch this. We carried this economic speech in its entirety for almost an hour and a half yesterday. We're told that the rest of this speech will very much echo what we...
Wow, Fox News cuts away. You better thank a union member. How about no state income tax? Well, it's a big problem because then they're just going to... Property taxes are going to go through the roof if that happens. It already happens in the states that don't have any state income tax. This is why I say she's just not going to win. There's just no way. I mean, even MSNBC, you know, with Hillary, it was like a worshiping session whenever she would go on one of those shows. It's just, there's just no way. Yeah, he's kind of making the same point. Bernie Moreno up by 2. Why is Fox News? I don't think they're anti-Trump. I mean, I don't know, man. Everyone is so on edge, it feels like. But there are a lot of Republicans that really don't like Fox News anymore. I know that. After what happened in 2020. Do you know what Polymarket was? I don't think Polymarket, I don't think, you'd have to look at other prediction model or like betting markets, I think. I don't know if Polymarket was in the game in 2016. But there were other markets where you could bet on the election. I don't know what how much of a favorite Hillary was, but I'm sure it was like minus 500 or something, or minus 300. She was a heavy favorite. Do you think anything Diddy might... I'm not sure he'll say anything before the election, honestly. It's hard to say with that legal stuff and predict it. It's basically a crapshoot on the revelations that come out of something like that. Everyone's just speculating. "2016 involved a lot of Bernie fan no-shows." Yeah, I mean there was a contingent that liked Bernie and thought he got screwed in 2016, and he did. I mean, they obviously wanted Hillary. Their entire establishment did. You always wonder if Jeb Bush or Ted Cruz would have beaten Trump. It would have been Cruz. I mean, Bush, there was no way Bush was ever winning. Even if Trump wasn't there was no way Bush was winning. Who are the World Series favorites? Probably the Yankees, Dodgers, World Series favorites. Sean, this is his lawyer claims that he has 1,000 bottles supply of baby oil because he lives near Costco and purchase it in, what is this?
And it's about almost 3 o'clock now. He's just laser focused. He's engaged. He's helpful. He's confident. You know, we're going through our defense as we do every day. And his spirits are relatively good.
How do you explain the baby oil and the lubricants? 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I don't think it was 1,000. I think it was a lot. I mean, there's a Costco right down the street. You know, I think Americans buy in bulk, as we know. And, you know, this is consensual adults doing what consensual adults do. You know, we can't get so puritanical in this country to think that somehow sex is a bad thing, because if it was, there'd be no more people.
I mean, you buy in bulk. I mean, it makes sense. You need 1,000 bottles. Jesus, man. Yeah, that was a classic Jeb Bush clip, 100%. I mean, you buy in bulk, you get them for cheap. That is true. You will get them for cheap if you buy. InfoWars is going to be closed by November. You know, we'll see what they end up doing with that, but what they're doing is very bad to Alex. Guys, should I go to the Butler rally? I think the Butler rally is on October 5th. Josh Shapiro is not honest they can vote in Pennsylvania. Well, Josh Shapiro is a clown for what he's done recently. I don't know if you've seen with him and Zelensky. Yeah, Waltz's wife. Yeah. She's had some crazy clips. Yeah, I do need a cameraman. If anyone is interested in being my cameraman to the Butler rally, it would not be a stream. I would do a video on it. I think it would get better views than me streaming it. It would be like a 30-minute video. Like a 30-minute vlog. Just message me on Twitter. But I don't know, you're talking about the Springfield one. When is the Springfield rally? Does anyone know when that is? Who do you think will be a good governor for North? Well, it's probably not going to be Robinson. Did you see Biden on the... Yeah, I did see that. I was looking for a clip of Biden, but I couldn't find it. There was a clip where Biden basically admits, yeah, they forced me out, but of course they like sugarcoat it and they tiptoe around it. They think people are like 5-year-olds. They're like, Biden's like, oh, it was for the best, but yeah, you know, I mean, he can barely talk at this point. Ever find out that lady? I remember that. The lady that didn't react. I never found out what the story was of that. Is it October 13th, really? Will people bring their pets to the Springfield rally? It feels unsafe. We need a cat uprising. Enjoyed your conversation with Red Eagle Politics. Remember when I called Red Eagle Politics? That was a good conversation. Red Eagle's a good dude. Why are they doing this to Robinson? Well, I think they're doing whatever they can to affect Trump. I mean, Robinson probably wasn't going to win anyways. They could give a shit about Robinson. They want the turnout lower for Trump in a state like North Carolina. They need North Carolina badly. Every little bit for them helps if they can, drag Robinson's name through the mud and find something from 14 years ago online. That's going to be huge for them. It all goes back to Trump. I mean, obviously they want Robinson to lose, the people leaking it, but I think it goes to Trump where they want lower turnout. I mean, when you get like split ballot voting, that's what Trump's going to have if Robinson really struggles and he stays in. How would you get into politics? I'm probably not even the person to ask for that. Like in terms of making a change, because I just do videos. I mean, you would have to probably talk to someone, I don't know, talk to someone local. They think people who are completely unevolved, who can't drive cars. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, Hockey. The bigger issue is that, and then they defend it like, you're really going to dump 20,000 people in a community with 50K, and you think that's going to end good? You think that's going to be a good result? Really? Come on, man. I mean, if it was like 3,000, that's one thing, but my God. I got to turn off that alert or something. That's a loud alert. That alert actually worked. Normally that it delays. It delays. I thought I saw another 8 billion was going to Zelensky, but it seems like it's coming down at least. Because remember, it used to be like 13 billion or whatever. Now it's 8 billion. It's dropping a little bit, I guess. What did Robinson do? Yeah, I looked that up and I was like, you know, he made some comments on an online message forum or something 14 years ago. It's some Nazi, some not good stuff, I guess. I mean, I don't know if it's confirmed it's him. I mean, we got to confirm it. I don't think they've confirmed it yet. Got 40K inheritance a year ago. This inflation wiped it out. Almost all of it went to food and gas. Not my utility or mortgage. Under Trump, I would have made and saved more. Yeah. Inflation has killed everyone, especially, I mean, obviously the middle class, because you've got less money. It's going to hurt you even more. The recent conversation between Rogan and Tucker was profoundly important, especially for the times we're living in. So you don't exercise and you haven't used your mind this century. Got it. I'm an ultra marathon runner, you retard. Oh, man. It was a CNN report, so it's most likely a hit. I know it's from CNN. I mean, I don't know. We got to confirm that it's legit. But with those things, you don't even need to confirm them. They'll just, they'll just lie. Any news on the long-range missiles in Ukraine? Seems like this is the first thing that really steps over the proxy war thing. Well, I think that wasn't true or something. They did not allow the use of long-range missiles. I don't believe that's true. And to be honest, there's no incentive for any type of escalation right now when it comes to the Democrats with Russia and Ukraine. They're trying to win an election. If you get a bit like more highly escalated war there, I think Trump wins guaranteed because Trump's the only one that's trying to end it. The Democrats are not trying to end that war. The best case scenario for them is it stays deadlocked where it is right now. If it escalates further, that's very bad for the Democrats. I don't think the Democrats would want to escalate that war anymore with it being so close to the election. They're going to want to wait for the election to be over. Eric Adams, who went after Trump Manhattan case, has been indicted and will be arrested tomorrow. Boom. Is that true? Is he trending? We got a live one. We got a live action story. Oh. Oh, man. Oh, man. What is he indicted for? Federal corruption charges. Is this related to Adams speaking out against the migrant invasion? I don't know if that's related to that. Oh, man. Link to Diddy. Oh, here comes the speculation. If you have inside information on crimes committed by Eric Adams, looks like Steven Crowder is trying to get some information. They're trying to find information. AOC issued a call for Adams to step down already? I remember Adams when he was showing everyone how to use a trash can. that was a good clip. Oh man. Well, that's an interesting note to end on. Did you hear the Oakland? Yeah, Oakland Coliseum's last game is tomorrow. Rest in peace. But guys, that is gonna do it for this live stream. Yeah, hockey, I am getting off. You're right. But yeah, another crap interview. Maybe I'll do a video. If I do a video, it'll probably be tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah, I normally don't do videos this late reacting to stuff. But the Kamala interview was a disaster. I'm sure you'll see people reacting to that and everything, and it was typical. I mean, even MSNBC though, I didn't think they would. I mean, it's just not professional. It's not presidential. It's not something you would see. Although I guess I shouldn't say that considering I like Trump. Thank you, man. Oakland Roots will be playing there. There's no way they keep that. They're gonna at least demolish parts of the Coliseum. There's no way they're gonna keep the full thing. Over under on popular vote in terms of what? Like maybe 49 to 48, 48.7 to 47.1. No, like I would say like 48.7 to 48.1. If that's the popular vote margin, then Trump wins for sure. All right, guys.